Hey everybody, and welcome back to Cash Cards gameplay. We did the first hand die roll-y thing off camera. Rye won the die roll, so take it away.
Ooh.
Hi Guy, I Rye, and this is Marwyn. She's gonna be my commander today. I'm gonna play Silly. You tap her, mana. You untap her, you tap her again. More mana.
Hey guys, it's Kilala, and I am playing Greymond, Apperson's Stalwart. This deck has one gimmick, Templar Knights. So I'm going to cast a Templar Knight, cast another one. Possible either Thrumming Stone or Combs Memorial and just win out with a bunch of combat damage.
What's up, guys? This is Arnie. Today I'm going to be playing SLICER Hired Muscle. SLICER is fun to play because I don't get to do anything. I just cast him and let my opponents kill each other with SLICER.
Hi everyone, I'm a guy that exists, and today I'm bringing Shanid, Sleeper Scourge. This is a legendary creature, aggro, aristocrats. It's so much fun. I'm going to play legendary lands, small little legendary creatures, and then those card draw effects are going to turn into anthem effects, and then I'm going to overwhelm the board in an absurd amount of value.
I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm going to play Mosswort Bridge. It enters tapped, and it is a hideaway. I look at the top 4 cards of my library, and then put one in exile face down, and then the rest at the bottom of my library.
You're going to hide away a card?
I'm gonna hide away a card.
It's really well hidden. I still can't see it.
Right? She is also in green, so it's kind of camouflaged.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rye, what'd you hide away?
A forest.
Got it.
Poker face.
And I'm going to pass.
All right, gamers. I'm going to join you in that turn 1 Fair Magic. I'm going to untap, upkeep, draw. Turn 1 land is going to be a Temple of Silence, which enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters, I get to scry 1. Be a good card, be a good card, be a good card. 'Tis acceptable. 'Tis acceptable. I will put it back on top and say, go.
All right, I'll draw my first card. I'm going to keep it pretty simple and just play a mountain. And then I'll pay 0 for a Welding Jar. Welding Jar says I can sacrifice it to regenerate a target artifact.
Neat.
I'll pass after that.
So not fair magic from Arnie. Got it.
That's pretty fair.
There.
So wait,
Draw.
real quick question. Can Welding Jar regenerate itself?
No.
No, because it needs to be sacrificed to regenerate.
I'm going to play Fair Magic, a tapped Amaria the Sky Ruin, so it enters tapped, but at the beginning of my upkeep, if I control 7 or more planes, this will probably not happen, I may return a target creature card from my graveyard to the battlefield. The most planes I've ever had at any one point during this deck is 5. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. How do you guys like forests?
I mean, I'm impartial.
Each land is a forest in addition to its other land types. I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to play Innkeeper's Talent. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I may put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control. And then I'm going to pass my turn.
All right. The other levels look really interesting. Permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1. It's going to be hard to target her stuff later.
Yeah.
When you level it up, which you can only do at sorcery speed. I untap. I draw. Mountain, I will be tapping for 1 colorless and 1 red for a new card out of Tarkir Dragonstorm. I am so glad that red finally has access to a mana dork. Sunset Strike Master. I could tap her for red, or I could pay 2 and a red, rather, to tap, sacrifice this creature, deal 6 damage to target creature with flying. You better not have flyers.
I have a robot.
Board police. I pass.
All right. I'll untap, upkeep, and draw. I'll play a mountain for turn. And I'm going to kick things off here with my buddy SLICER. I'll tap 2 red and cast a Paretic Ritual. I'll add 3 red mana to my mana pool. I'll use that 3 mana to cast SLICER for his more than meets the eye cost, which is 2 and a red. And he casts on the other side SLICER High Speed Antagonist.
Butt side.
Living Metal, first strike haste. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, convert it at the end of combat. Moving to combat. I'll just go in turn order and swing 3 first strike at you, Ellie.
Wow. I'm the one with the most going on.
All right. After that, I'll pass.
Okay. Not doing the SLICER thing then?
Yes, at the end of combat, it'll flip into SLICER Hired Muscle.
And then,
On your upkeep, I
Yes.
will choose for you to gain control of Slicer.
and he has to attack.
Would you like to read what Slicer does?
Yes, he has double strike and haste. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do untap Slicer, goad it, and it can't be sacrificed this turn. You do not convert it, if you don't convert it. So, it has to attack, that's what goad is. Blah, 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 blah.
Has to attack, but can't attack me.
Exactly. I'm going to play a snow-covered plains, and then the gimmick of this deck, which I absolutely love, Templar Knight. This deck does one of two things. It either casts a lot of Templar Knights, or this is my most attacky deck. I'm going to swing at Austin with a 3/4. It's double strike.
What do I even do? You said double strike?
Yes.
And it is his commander, and he is dealing commander damage to you.
Yes.
So, okay, I will go to my end step and pass the turn. Would you like this to go to Roy?
Yes, I would.
There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm going to untap, and then I'm going to draw. Okay, I'm going to land for turn, and then I'm going to tap for 3, and I'm going to bring out Imperious Perfect. Other elf creatures I control get +1/+1, and then I can tap for 1 green and put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token into play. At the beginning of combat, she is going to get a 1/1 from my Innkeeper's Talent. And I'm going to swing Slicer Hired Muscle turn order at Austin.
Bruh.
I'm going to pass.
I think I'm being bullied. Untap, upkeep, draw.
Would you like Slicer to go to Austin?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
All right. I will go ahead and I'm just on my game plan. I'm going to do the thing. I came here to do a thing. I'm doing the thing. I'm gonna pay 4. I'm gonna cast my commander. Shanid Sleeper Scourge. Other legendary creatures you control have menace. Whenever I play a legendary land or cast a legendary spell, I will draw a card and lose 1 life. It's not like I needed my life total, guys. Clearly, you can have it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. Let's attack the real enemy. I could be justifying the fact that you two decided to attack me, but it's not your permanent. It can't attack him.
He's goaded.
Of course. Yes. That's how Slicer works. Mono white. Dangerous game we're playing.
Yep.
I shall pass.
All right. Untap, upkeep. I'll take my boy back.
You sure about that?
Yeah. And then I'll draw. Let's play a War Room as my land for turn.
Neat.
You guys like your cheap spells?
I do, actually.
I don't. I'm going to cast a Trinisphere. So as long as Trinisphere is untapped, each spell that would cost less than 3 mana now costs 3 mana.
Great.
We'll move to combat. Hey, Rye.
Hey.
Swing Guy.
What is he?
A 3/4 double strike.
Yeah, I take.
All right. And with that, I'll pass my turn.
Awesome. Untap, upkeep.
Yes, you will.
Cool. I am going to snow-covered plains, and I'm going to deal with the Slicer situation real quick. Tap 3. Crackdown. Non-white creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Ooh. So once he attacks, because he has to, he will not untap again. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
May I read this card?
Absolutely. Gotta love Crackdown. Guess who has power 3 or greater?
Almost as if.
Now I must read Slicer. So Slicer gets untapped.
Yes, but this is a
On the
replacement
upkeep.
effect. So it will stop him untapping.
But Slicer untaps on the upkeep.
Yes, but does not untap.
Layers.
During the untap steps.
Yeah. We can figure it out later, but yeah. Oops, sorry. In that case, then, I will not do that. I will still use 3 mana, and I'll cast Adeline instead. So Adeline is power is equal to the number of creatures I control, and whenever I attack, for each opponent, I create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. Hey, you over there with no creatures on the board.
Yes.
Slicer is going to come this way. Sorry, Rye.
No, okay.
Templar Knight is going to come this way.
Right.
On attacks, Adeline will trigger. There'll be a 1/1 white human coming at each of you as well. Mm-hmm. I don't have my tokens on me at the moment, so I'm going to use D6s as representation. So there is a 1/1 coming at you, a 1/1 coming at you, and a 1/1 coming at you.
I will block and kill the 1/1.
Cool.
But I will take
The same.
Awesome, awesome.
How much total? The 1/1 and the Templar Knight?
So it'll be 4 damage in total.
4.
Cool. And then I have a 1/1. And I will go to my end step. I'm just assuming you want it to.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Ray.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to hashtag LPT, land per turn. I'm going to tap for 1, 2, 3 to get out Miss Marwyn. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield under my control, I put a 1/1 counter on her, and then I can tap to add green in the amount of her power. Then I'm going to tap for 1 green and tap Imperious Perfect to put a 1/1 elf creature token on the battlefield, which will trigger Marwyn. At the beginning of combat on my turn, something will get a 1/1 counter. I'm going to give it to Miss Marwyn. I'm going to swing Slicer the 3/4 at you, Ellie.
I will actually block because she can take the hit and then she will kill Slicer on the return.
Neat. Goodbye, Slicer.
When Slicer dies, I will sacrifice the welding jar to
There goes the welding jar.
regenerate Slicer.
All right, so one more piece of removal, essentially. All right, going to my upkeep. Are you doing the thing, sir?
Yes, I shall.
You're still at the least amount of commander damage, so prolonging this game, I have to attack you with Slicer this turn. That being said, untap, upkeep, draw. Trinisphere is like the worst card for my deck ever, actually. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to attempt to pad my life total. I didn't want to bust this out, but at least I won't be paying extra for it. Aetherflux Reservoir does not see its own cast. Then I will go to combat. Sorry, Ellie. Not my choice. Pass.
All right. Untap. Upkeep. Give me my boy. Draw. For land for turn, I'll play the Mycosynth Gardens.
Yep.
So I'm going to pay 3, tap the War Room, pay 1 life, draw a card.
Gamer.
That didn't help. Hey, Rye. One more time. I'm going to make you use that blocker.
Yeah, I do be using that blocker.
All right.
You would still take damage if you only blocked
No.
with one.
No.
She doesn't have
The
trample.
way double strike works, right?
No, it doesn't have
just
trample.
double strike this.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's it. Pass turn.
Draw. Play planes. I'm just going to pass. They're going to go to combat. You have blockers up, so.
All right, fair enough. Ordering blockers, I'm going to have Sunset.
You only have to block with 1.
I know, I want to kill it.
Okay.
I want to kill Slicer.
Cool.
Sunset Strike Master is going to be taking the damage first, so Sunset Strike Master. Say that 5 times fast, chat. Sunset Strike Master, jeez, will die. Shanid has enough toughness so that it will not die on combat.
And
Slicer will go back to the command zone.
I will pass turn.
I will untap, and then I will upkeep. And then I will draw. All right. I'm going to pay 1, tap her, elf, Marwyn. I will tap for 4, 5, Ashaya. Ashaya's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. And then I'm going to pay 1 for Innkeeper's Talent. Permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1.
She's leveling up her enchanting.
So, yeah, everything has ward 1. And then we're going to move to combat. Marwyn, you are going to get a 1/1 counter. And then I'm going to pass.
Untappies. Into thy draw step. Very reluctant Blood Crypt untapped. Because it'll be entering untapped, I will pay 2 life. It is not damage. Damage and life loss are not the same. Viewers back at home. And then I will stare at Trinisphere and remark that Wizards decided in all their wisdom to take it off the Game Changers list. Pay 5 to cast yet another card from Dragonstorm. Smile at Death. At the beginning of my upkeep, I can return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and then I put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures. And then when I cast a spell, I will be gaining 1 life, padding the ever so arduous life total. I feel like we all understand the gravity of our situation here. Dose in combat at our boy Slicer main.
I will take 2 and go to 33.
That shall be all. LP to T, as the cool kids say.
I hate Slicer, but morally I can't because he's a transformer.
Let's do the thing, shall we? I'll play a command beacon as my land for turn.
Nice.
Immediately tap it and sacrifice it and put my commander from the command zone into my hand.
Mm-hmm.
For the kids at home who don't know, he doesn't have to pay the command tax now for it.
Right. And then I'll tap 3 to once again cast Slicer for his more than meets the eye cost. All right. I'm going to play a command beacon as my land for turn. Immediately tap it and sacrifice it to put Slicer back into my hand from the command zone.
For the kids watching at home, he's doing that so he now doesn't have to pay the commander tax for his Slicer.
Just this once, though.
Yeah, just this one. Evil.
Pure evil.
All right. Then let's tap 2 colorless, 1 red to cast Slicer.
A Chaos Warp?
No. Slicer for his more than meets the eye cost, so high speed antagonist is back. And I can't help but notice, but you are open. So I would like to flip Slicer and attack you with a 3/2.
Yeah.
No. It's just 3 because it's the first strike side.
Just the first strike.
Okay.
He has a debuff side, believe it or not.
No.
He did combat damage, so I will flip him. I'll pass the turn.
Cool.
On your upkeep, you will gain control of Slicer.
Sweet. I didn't draw land. Hey, Rye, you got a really big butt over there with a
Oh,
Shia.
yeah, swing it.
Oh, yeah.
Swing, baby, swing.
Oh, I'm blocking with a 7/7.
Oh, baby.
All right. Is he going back to the command zone? You want him to go to the graveyard?
He will go back to the zone.
And I will pass the turn. Go ahead, Rye.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw.
All right, and I'm going to tap 1 to tap this land right here and play this without paying its mana cost. 1,000-year elixir. I may activate abilities of creatures I control as though they had haste, and then if I pay 1, I can untap a certain creature. And then I'm going to tap Marwyn for 5, pay 1 to tap this to untap Marwyn. So I have 4 left over. I'm going to use 3 of it to cast Llanowar Tribe. This will go up. She is now a 6/6. I can tap this for 3 mana.
You have 1 mana floating off.
I do, but I don't know if I'm going to do anything else. I think I might actually. Yeah, I'm just going to use that 1 floating. I'm going to tap Llanowar Tribe because of 1,000-year elixir. And I'm going to play Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under my control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature I control, or a creature card in my graveyard, I draw a card.
Nice.
And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to tap for 1 green to tap this to put an elf creature token on the battlefield. I have 2 of these now. They're both 1/1s. And last but certainly not least, let's count Ashaya's power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then I am going to move to combat, and at combat, I'm going to put another 1/1 counter on her, and I'm going to swing Marwyn for 6, 7, 8 damage at you, Arnie.
Yeah.
To do half of the commander damage that you've dealt to me.
Yo, dog, I heard you like commander damage.
I am going to pass my turn.
Untap, upkeep, I shall draw.
Gonna give me land.
No. No, it will not. Smoldering Marsh. Oh, sorry, on upkeep. Sunset, Strike Master comes back from the graveyard with a 1/1 counter on it. All right. Wabam. I'm sure that will be very beneficial to me because it doesn't have haste. So we are going to start with the new trend at the table is swinging at our mono red stand over here for 2 commander.
I'll take 2.
Mm-hmm. And then in second main, probably going to cast one of my favorite mono black spells of all time in Living Death. Each player is going to exile all creature cards from his her graveyard, then sacrifice all creatures they control, put all cards exiled this way onto the battlefield. So essentially what happens is graveyard goes into battlefield, battlefield goes to graveyard. And I will actually send Shanid to the graveyard with that effect. I am not replacing or sending anything to the command zone. That being said, I will ship the turn.
I get Adeline back.
Yes, you do.
Cool.
I get nothing back.
Oh, and I cast a spell. I gain a life. Aetherflux Reservoir.
Goodbye.
No!
Untap. Draw. It's not great, guys. Play a Homeward Path. All right, we're going to draw cards, guys. I'm going to tap 3 and the War Room, pay 1 life, draw a card. These would have been great a turn ago. I would like to say to everyone, I am sorry for the Trinisphere. It's screwing me just as much as it's screwing you.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Pass.
Okay. Untappy, uppy, keepy, draw. Fantastic. No land. Again. Hooray. Tap for 3. Cast Caduceus Staff of Hermes. Equipped creature will have lifelink, and as long as I have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has indestructible, and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature. It costs 2 white mana to equip it. I will swing Adeline at Arnie. This will send a 1/1 at each of you as well. 3 1/1s on the board. Arnie, you are going to take 4 damage from Adeline and 1 damage from the soldier, so 5 damage in total. And I will pass the turn. Untap. Upkeep, draw.
Wirewood Lodge, not lounge. Can tap to add 1, or I can tap for 1 green and untap an elf. I'm going to tap for 1, 2, and 3 to play Eternal Witness. When it enters the battlefield, I may return target card from my graveyard to my hand. I'm going to return a Shia.
I was going to say, and tell us why it's a Shia.
And because this enters, I draw a card. And then I'm going to pass my turn.
Let's do the thing. Untap, on upkeep, Smile at Death will trigger. I can return up to 2 target creatures with power 2 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield. This time, I can only really return Shanid with that effect, but she gets a 1/1 counter. Yippee! And then I will draw for turn. I will play a Phyrexian Tower as my land for turn. It is a legendary land, so I will lose 1 life and draw a card because Shanid allows me to do the thing. And then you guys are going to see why I have been complaining all game. I'm going to pay 3 for Norin, Swift Survivalist. That will be my first spell this turn cast, so I will gain a life off of Aetherflux. And then Shanid will immediately have me lose a life and draw a card because that is a legendary spell. And then I will...
What does Norin do?
Norin is just a 2/1 that can't block, and whenever a creature I control becomes blocked, I may exile it, and then I may play that card this turn from exile. All right, and then I will pay 3 and cast a Hope of Girapor, which will gain me 2 life off of the Aetherflux. I will lose a life because of Shanid from the cast and draw a card. And Hope of Girapor is a flying 1/1 that I can sacrifice Hope of Girapor to have until my next turn. Target player who was dealt combat damage by Hope of Girapor this turn can't cast non-creature spells, putting me at a nice, healthy 24. I will just ship the turn, I think.
All right. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Please. Okay, decent, but Trinisphere. Play a mountain for turn. Tap 3 for an arcane signet.
And this is why you don't play Trinisphere, kids.
I'm going to tap 3 reluctantly For Akedis, Emberclaw Familiar. Is whenever a commander I control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. Notably, that is not commander damage. That is just regular damage.
Yep.
After that, sad. Pass.
Okay. Draw a card. We will tap 4 to cast Greymond. Greymond reads, as Greymond enters the battlefield, choose 2 abilities from among First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Humans I control have each of the chosen abilities, and as long as I control 4 more humans, humans I control get +2/+2. So all my humans are now +2/+2 because I have more than 4. And I'm going to choose Vigilance and Lifelink as the 2 abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go to the best step, the combat step. I'm going to swing Adeline here. I'm going to swing my...
Can I make a deal with you?
What's your deal?
Don't swing anything at me, and when I cast Slicer next turn, it'll go at one of them. And then I'll pass it right to you, and you can do it to them. I'm going to die.
I'm going to say that you caused 15 commander damage to me.
Yeah.
You have no sympathy for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Adeline is coming at you.
Right.
And the 3 1/1s I have are coming at you. On attack, Adeline will trigger. I will get 3 more 1/1s. These will be tapped and attacking, however, but they are 3/3s because of Greymond. So you have a 3/3 coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 3/3 extra coming at you, and you have another 3/3. Adeline also sees those. Sorry, 1. So that's 6, 7, 8. Adeline is a 8/4. So you have 11 damage coming at you, technically. And you have 8 damage coming at you in total.
Mm-hmm.
You have 4 2/2s coming at 4 3/3s coming at you. All of them are vigilant.
Isn't that 12 damage?
Thank you. Yes, 12 damage. All of them are vigilant lifelink. Did you take your?
I did take 3.
So I will gain 3 off of the one hitting you. I'm gonna steal your cat real quick, and that's gonna be the other ones.
See, this is what Norn would normally be fantastic for, is like being able to block and then being able to play a card from exile this turn.
But
that being said, I will block 2 3/3s and one of your 3/3s will die, and then I will take 6. That's the calculus.
Yes.
4 3/3s, so
But I gain 12
yes.
because lifelink. And
I will block the biggest one.
You'll block the big one. Okay, and then you will take a 3/3, so I will gain 11. Because still lifelink. I will pass the turn. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, I am going to tap for 5 to get my commander back out from the command zone. Then I'm going to move to combat.
Grading project.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to play land for turn, and then I'm going to move to combat, put a 1/1 counter on Marwyn. Going to tap Marwyn for 2, and then 3 to play Priest of Titania, where I can tap to add 1 green mana to my mana pool for each elf on the battlefield. She will go up to a 2. I'm going to immediately tap her for 1 to tap this to untap Marwyn. And because she entered, I'm going to draw a card off of Guardian Project.
You tap for 2 mana. She taps for each.
Oh, that's right. That's fine. I have 1 floating, but I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to... What can I do with 1 mana? Am I right?
Clearly nothing.
And then I'm going to pass.
Me too, sister. Honestly.
All right, I shall untap. On upkeep, Smile of Death trigger. I will return just Hope of Girapur with a 1/1 counter to the battlefield. I shall draw for turn.
I don't like that face.
Is that a good face?
Oh, it's good for everybody. It's good for everybody.
Remember what I said about Ameria not mattering?
Yeah.
With land.
Remember when we were sad about 4 lands?
Yeah. Still
Ladies and germs? I will play a command tower tap before cast Shieldred, the Apocalypse. That being said, I'm going to gain 1 life because that's my first spell, lose 1 life because of Shanid, draw a card, gain 2 life off of Shieldred. Alright, for those who are unaffiliated with Shieldred, 2 black for a Death Touch 4/5. Phyrexian Praetor. Whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. Whenever these schmucks draw, they lose 2 life.
Real quick, Shanid, is that a cast trigger or an ETB for the lose one, draw one?
It's on cast.
So you would not get the 2 life off of the cast because this is on cast when you do the draw. It's not on the board just yet.
It's cast.
So she triggers on cat. This is a cast trigger.
Okay.
So you lose the life, draw the card.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like making one more threat at the table is actually good for us right now. And I have a death touch blocker. You're gonna love me. Paying 3 for the fuse cost for wear and tear. I'm paying for both sides of this effect, so I'm going to destroy both a target artifact and an enchantment. I'm going to choose the target for my enchantment being Guardian Project, and then the artifact, Trinisphere!
Thank God.
Everybody's free! And then I will gain 2 life, because that's my second spell, thanks to Aetherflux Reservoir. I will just go to combat, and we're still all upset at you. Take 2.
Held us hostage with that Trinisphere for so long.
Then I will play a late game Wayfarer's Popple.
Wow!
Gain 3. I could pay 2 to tap, sacrifice this, and get a basic land card from my deck onto the battlefield, shuffle my deck, so on and so forth. P the T.
Draw.
When you draw, you will lose 2 life.
That I
because
will.
of Shieldred.
I'm going to tap 1 red.
You can do it, buddy!
Blasphemous Act.
I will sacrifice 1 and Flare Fortitude until end of turn. My life total can't change, and permanents I control have hexproof and indestructible. They take no damage.
What does that one do?
So we
It's a
got...
board wipe. It does 13 damage to all creatures. Ellie is going to keep her board. I'm dead anyway. I'll tap 3, tap the War Room, pay a life, draw a card, pay 1. For an O Naginata, it's an equipment. Pay 1. For a Beamtown Beat Stick, it's an equipment. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. All right. I have 4 1/1s. I'll draw a card. Hey, guess what? No land. Yay.
I feel like at this point you have no right to complain about land drops.
I mean, I kind of don't, but at the same time, it still sucks. I will play a Champion of the Parish. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under my control, I'll put a +1/+1 counter on Champion. I will tap 2. I will attach Caduceus to Adeline. Also, this will go up by 1 because I cast the Champion. So equipped creature has +5/+5 and indestructible and prevent all damage that we dealt to this creature. Also has lifelink. Already had lifelink thanks to Greymond. Woohoo. So she is now a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's just deal some damage. I'm going to send Adeline at Rye. I'm sending Greymond here. So 1/1's going to come at each of you as well. So I'm going to send one of the soldiers here with you as well. And then another 1/1 is 3/3 is coming at you as well. So you have 2 of those. Coming at you is going to be 2 3/3, 3 3/3s technically.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming at Rye is going to be the Champion and a 3/3. And then that's going to be 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. And then Champion of the Parish sees 3 1/1 human come in. So he is also going to get 3 1/1. +1/+1. Go to blocks. That is 16, 18 damage coming at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is 9 damage coming at you.
I'll
guess I
take
should
it
have
on
sent.
the nose.
I guess I should have sent that way. And that is lethal on you.
Yes, it is.
So that is.
Your mistake was playing a blasphemous act.
Yep. I gain 18 life from Adeline. You're good. I gain 9 life off of the. Off of them, and then I will gain 11 off of them.
Land for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, this on taps. To get out, Marwyn, tap her. Llanowar Elves, tap Lenore Elves to tap this to untap Marwyn. Oh, this also goes goes up. Yeah, tap Marwyn for 2 mana, use 1 to play Wirewood Symbiote. Return an elf I control to the owner's hand, untap target creature. Untapping this. I mean, yeah, Marwyn. Woo!
Yay, Marwyn.
And then
Do you have the floating mana? You could replay the.
that's exactly what I'm doing. Lenore Elves. She goes up to a 3/3, guys.
She's doing the thing.
And then she does nothing else because I can't do anything else. And then
Dang.
I pass my turn.
I shall untap. I shall draw. Sorry, on upkeep, rather. Shanid's going to get returned to the battlefield with Smile at Death, and I will get a 1/1 counter on the commander. Let's just play a case of Koilos, and pay 2, I'm going to go ahead and sack Wayfarer's Bauble, get a basic from my deck onto the field. Boom, Swamp. Not happy about it, but Rising of the Day will gain me a life off of Aether Flux. Kind of inconsequential play. I believe combat damage kills us both, but we'll see what
100%
happens.
we die.
Your turn.
Cool. Untap. Upkeep. Drop. I would love to cast this if I could, but I can't. So we'll just tap 2 for Templar Knight. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. Tap 2. Templar Knight. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. And that is 7 of these boyos. And I will go to combat. You have a singular blocker. You have 3 blockers. Greymond and Adeline are going to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
Champion and the 7/1/7/3/3s are going to come at you. On attack, Adeline will make 3 more 3/3s. 1, 2, 3. I believe that is lethal.
Good games, guys.
Good games.
So I nerfed myself with my own Trinisphere. I didn't get to do much. Slicer stayed in the command zone most of the game, and I got killed.
I got board wiped twice.
Well, turns out when your deck is built around 1 mana and 2 mana value creatures and someone casts a Trinisphere, you're actually playing board police the whole game. And I don't feel like I could have played much better, but it was a rough game. We've got to run it back. Be sure to stay tuned for some more videos. You'll see me again.
Well, that went differently than I expected. Flare of Fortitude should probably be on the Game Changers list. Just saying.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and check out our previous Commander gameplays and make sure that you hit us with a follow on all of our other social medias. See you guys next time.
Peace! Bro.